What if the most dangerous man in Britain wasn't hiding in the shadows of London, but on a forgotten island where no one would ever think to look? Michael Mason spent years perfecting the art of disappearing. Former government assassin, elite black kites operative, a ghost with a body count that would make most warlords jealous. But when a little girl washes up on his shore during a violent storm, his past doesn't just come knocking. It comes with an army.
Weapons free. Kill target on sight.
Mason lives on a remote island off the coast of Scotland with only his dog for company. Every week, a young girl named Jessie brings him supplies by boat. She's grieving her mother, frustrated by his cold silence, but she keeps coming back. Mason keeps his distance. He has to, because years ago, he went rogue from the Black Kites, an elite government kill team that doesn't forgive and definitely doesn't forget. MI6 has been hunting him ever since, and staying invisible is the only thing keeping him alive. But isolation has a price. And that price is about to come due. Then the storm hits. Jessie and her uncle get caught in the chaos.
Jessie! Come on!
Waves like mountains, thunder splitting the sky. The boat capsizes. Her uncle drowns. Jessie injures her ankle and barely makes it to shore. Mason finds her unconscious on the rocks and does something he swore he'd never do again. He helps. He brings her to his cabin, treats her wounds, and realizes her injury needs real medical attention. So he makes a choice that will cost him everything. He takes his boat to the mainland. Big mistake. A phone camera in town catches his face. That footage gets flagged by MI6's surveillance network, a system designed to track terrorists and rogue agents. Within hours, Mason's location is compromised. His former handler, Manafort, a man who built his career on tying up loose ends, sees the alert and smiles. He dispatches a squad of soldiers to the island with one order: eliminate the target. No survivors. But here's the thing about Michael Mason. He didn't survive this long by being easy to kill. The soldiers storm his cabin at night. Tactical gear, night vision, military precision. And Mason takes them apart like they're training dummies. Every move calculated, every shot lethal. Within minutes, the entire squad is dead, and Mason knows exactly what this means. They found him, and they're not going to stop. Mason grabs Jessie and they flee the island by boat. No plan, no backup, just survival instinct and a promise he didn't mean to make. They hide out at a remote farm, planning to steal a car and disappear. And for the first time, something shifts between them. Mason teaches Jessie how to handle a gun. Not because he wants to, but because he knows what's coming. She's scared but determined. He's cold but protective. It's the closest thing to trust either of them has felt in years. But trust doesn't stop bullets. The police locate the farm. And worse, Manafort sends his best weapon. A mercenary named Workman. Silent, brutal, unstoppable. The kind of killer who makes other killers nervous. The farm becomes a war zone. Police surround the property.
Drop the weapon!
Workman moves through the shadows like death itself. And Mason? He does what he does best. He fights. Jessie helps, using everything he taught her, proving she's tougher than anyone expected. They escape by the skin of their teeth, but Workman isn't done. He pursues them in a high-speed car chase through narrow country roads. Metal grinding, bullets flying, until Mason forces Workman's vehicle off the road in a brutal collision. But even that doesn't stop him. Because men like Workman don't quit. They adapt. Mason and Jesse make it to London. He has a contact at a nightclub who can get Jesse out of the country. Somewhere safe, somewhere far from this nightmare.
30 minutes. It won't wait. Just make sure you finish what you started.
You handle your end. I'll handle mine.
But Manafort anticipated the move. Workman and another team storm the club. Strobe lights, pounding music, chaos. And in the middle of it all, Mason becomes a one-man army. He cuts through Manafort's men with surgical precision, protecting Jesse while civilians scatter in terror. It's brutal. It's efficient. It's everything that made him the most feared operative in the Black Kites. Finally, he gets Jessie to the Isle of Dogs and puts her on a boat to Spain. She's safe. But Mason? His war isn't over. Mason tracks down Workman for the final fight. No guns. No tricks. Just two killers in an industrial wasteland, fighting to the death. It's vicious. Every punch lands like a sledgehammer. Every move could be the last. And in the end, Mason wins by breaking Workman's neck with a pipe attached to a chain. Brutal. Final. Then he goes after the man who started it all. Manafort. Mason infiltrates his house, kills his guards, and confronts the handler who turned him into a weapon. Manafort tries to recruit him one last time. Offers him power, money, a return to the life.
You were my dearest, my greatest weapon. You really think you can outrun what you are?
Mason's answer?
You're the very reason I didn't pull the trigger 10 years ago. And why I have to now.
A bullet. Because some debts can only be paid in blood. Weeks later, in a quiet cafe in Spain, Jessie sits alone. She's safe. She's healing. And then a waiter brings her a small package. Inside? A chess piece. A gift from Mason. She looks around, searching for him, and someone tells her he was just there. She smiles. Because she knows the truth. Mason is still out there. Still watching. Still protecting her from the shadows. He saved her life. And in doing so, maybe he saved a piece of his own soul. But men like Michael Mason don't get happy endings. They get quiet ones. And sometimes, that's enough. Outro. Shelter. A story about a man who tried to escape his past, only to discover that redemption doesn't come from running. It comes from standing your ground when it matters most. If you enjoyed this breakdown, we'd love to have you stick around for more action-packed recaps.